Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. You know, when even Cointelegraph acknowledges that XRP is probably going to hit a new all-time high in enter price discovery, maybe that's because it's most reasonable to believe that XRP is going to hit a new all-time high and enter price discovery. Because look, these Cointelegraph people, like they not all of them are bad, I'm sure, but my God, they have spent basically like the better part of the last decade regularly posting articles crapping all over XRP with false information, conflating Ripple with XRP, fudding it to hell, just negative article after negative article, and every now and then you'd see something positive because they do let a number of different people post stuff, and sometimes they're opinion pieces. But you almost exclusively see a bunch of nonsense from Cointelegraph when it comes to XRP, but even they seem to be wanting to prevent a bunch of egg all over their face. Maybe even they see the writing is on the wall there, and now we have a headline like this. XRP price preps for powerful move above $2.90 as sentiment metrics signal optimism. So I'm going to be highlighting the fact that, well, there'd be a number of things in this video, but one that I find most interesting is that we really are at the end of the most recent range if all sorts of analysts are correct. And frankly, it's very hard to find analysts that don't agree that we're pretty much there. The only ones you will find that say XRP, no, it's not going up, or the top isn't anything like that, is the dumbass analysts that didn't even know that XRP was going to pop in the first place, so why the hell would we listen to them? We won't. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so let's jump into this. There are a few key parts of this article that I've got to highlight, and if you've been paying attention, what you're going to find is that what even Cointelegraph is now putting out there to its massive audience is in line with the expectations that we in the XRP community have had. They continue to acknowledge at various points in recent history, even stuff that we've been talking about like throughout 2024. It's just like they never wanted to post articles even humoring such ideas until XRP broke to the upside with conviction after the election in November. Then I noticed that Cointelegraph started to change the way that they were, proliferating information, let's say. Anyway, reads as follows. XRP has followed the broader crypto market trend by selling off sharply, but the altcoin still holds the bulk of its 300% gains, which it accumulated in the last part of 2024. The altcoin managed to avoid a deeper correction between January 7th and January 9th as it continues to consolidate near its descending trend line, eyeing a potential breakout above the key resistance range between $2.50 and $2.60. Folks, that's in line with what all sorts of reputable analysts in the XRP community have been saying. And even ones that may not consider themselves part of the community, but just chart XRP because they think it's a great opportunity, that's in line with what they're saying here. None of this is a surprise to me. It's probably not to you guys listening either, but you'll love to see it, right? Spread the message. Spread some actual damn truth out there. I'm very happy to see this. And as far as, XRP avoiding a deeper correction, yeah, oh, absolutely. And I've been mentioning this a lot in recent days. XRP has been showing bizarre levels of strength, uncharacteristic levels of strength. Well, at least from what you'd on any given day expect from XRP. But if you consider how XRP behaves when we're in bull markets, there's certainly historic precedent for this. Then it's actually normal. It's just that that's not most of the time. Then there's also this, let me jump down a little bit. Valeria, a crypto and foreign exchange trader, Forex trader, said that the XRP price is currently in a key decision-making zone. The trader explained that the altcoin's upward rejection or bounce from the $2.15 level to $2.20 level indicates the intentions of major players, and the trader added, quote, if the support zone resists, aggressive growth is expected with the nearest target of $2.91, where the liquidity of sellers is concentrated, end quote. That is exactly what I keep seeing from all sorts of analysts. Yes, that's right. Although I had seen so like, I believe that is probably correct. I didn't check before recording this video because that's not the type of stuff that I typically pull up anyway, for myself anyway. But if it is true that still there's a concentration there, I do know that it would be weaker now. In fact, chart analyst Dom has been talking about this a lot, highlighting that highlighting various levels of where there are lots of sell orders. And unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure that that's a key level where he was saying, like, look, we're already rejected, so the next time you go through it, you're going to melt through it a lot faster. There's fewer sell orders at that particular point. So we'll see. But it's just so fascinating to see that Cointelegraph is sharing. I mean, is somebody going to get fired? Is this even supposed to be published? At this point, I've seen enough of these. I think the answer is yes here, but it wasn't just some sort of fluke, but it is because they can't ignore it anymore. Like that seems so obvious to me. Anyway, piece continues. Additionally, Valeria mentioned that traders should closely monitor XRP's price action as the asset is preparing for a powerful move. And that's a quote from the trader. Asset is preparing for a powerful movement anyway. And again, this is all I can find from analysts who don't suffer from XRP derangement syndrome. That is the only perspective that I can find. Likewise, Dan Crypto, a crypto analyst, said that the altcoin pair can be great to trade as XRP historically respected most of its technical levels. The trader highlighted the formation of a triangle/pennant formation on XRP's 4-hour chart, suggesting that these types of patterns have a higher probability of breaking upward during bull markets. Yes, they do, and there's historic precedent for that. I'm not a chart guy, but even I know that. And that's also why I said, as XRP was consolidating for almost 7 years in that symmetrical triangle, I said, we don't technically know for sure it's going to break to the upside. But when it's going to break it, given that we're in a bull market, don't you think that XRP would move to the upside unless the entire crypto market's going to collapse? Duh. Like, I'm not a chart guy. I'm not a genius. There's nothing special about me just because I have a YouTube channel. It's common freaking sense here, guys. How come I could see? I'm a dude on the internet named Moon Lambo, and I was getting stuff right that chart analysts who have massive followings and have been here for longer than me couldn't see coming. Maybe you got some blinders on at that point. You know what I mean? So here's what it is. Anyway, piece continues. Besides a favorable market structure, XRP's ecosystem has witnessed a series of positive events that could lure in spectators. Ripple's president recently stated that an XRP spot ETF approval could be coming very soon. Meanwhile, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse recently shared an image with President Donald Trump. And so I talked about both those things. As far as the ETF, I'd say there's a high probability that's coming in 2025. Yes, this year. It's just a question of, is that something that would happen during this bull run? Kind of skeptical of that happening, but I'm not going to say absolutely not. It's just because, to get the new SEC chair in and to get things in motion, the actual approval process, and then if this thing's going to, say XRP does peak within the next several months, well, you're probably not going to then, but it's possible. But we'll see. With or without that, it's not going to matter. XRP is going to run regardless. That's just a narrative. There's this post from chart analyst Ali Martinez. XRP offers 2 potential entries. The first is the rising trend line of the pennant at $2.05. The second is a breakout outside of the pennant at $2.50. Regardless of your entry, the target remains $10. And so he has been insisting on double-digit price action here. I'll not be surprised if he ends up being correct. He also acknowledges, yeah, fine, in the short term we could go a bit lower, but I've tons of analysts that I follow are warning it's possible. I just don't see strong conviction really from any of the analysts I follow in terms of, in the very short term, is XRP going to go down to that type of level, or do we just break up from here? Some of them lean one way or another, but I'm not seeing tremendously strong conviction that it's absolutely going to go this way. Most analysts are somewhere in between. So take it for what it's worth. It's just all that means is there's not enough data in the charts to have that level of high conviction, which is perfectly fine. If it's not there, then the right answer is you don't know. And sometimes that's the answer. The answer is you don't know. You have suspicions, and that's fine. Either way, it doesn't change anything on a higher time frame. On a higher time frame, XRP does hit a new all-time high in enterprise discovery, and that's ultimately what matters here. So yeah, double-digit price action for XRP. Won't be surprised to see it. Here's a new post last night from chart analyst Bobby A. He wrote, "If you aren't bullish, you are acting on emotions. Read that again. XRP." This is an XRP USD chart on the screen, and he's noting what he's citing as the proper take profit zone. And I like what I see here. So he has it starting at $5.31 all the way up to $13.72. Now, you all sell whenever the hell you want. I'm going to be scaling out of my position. So it's not going to be all at once. I'll start scaling. Well, technically, maybe I've talked about this. I don't know if I'm going to do this. Maybe I'll sell like 5% of my XRP below $5 because that would recoup my initial investment. Then I think about that. I'm like, is that going to move the needle for my life if I do that? So I'm kind of like, maybe I will just for the sake of it. But I don't know. Maybe not. It doesn't really matter, but as long as I sell the vast majority of my XRP between $5 to $8, assuming we're presented those prices, which I think is a high probability personally, then I'll be happy. That's my zone anyway. Might hold 10 or 15% as in case we do get to that $10 to $20 range. But I just don't need that. I have so much XRP. I spent years accumulating. My average buy price is 25 cents. I just don't need to get greedy, and I don't need $20 for XRP. But I will be cheering on all of you. If you're holding for those levels, we might get them. I don't know. But I will be cheering on all of you on this YouTube channel because I will love it if you're able to sell higher than me. I love our community. I will absolutely be the biggest cheerleader possible for all of you, even if you're selling at prices higher than me. But, this zone of $5.30 to $13.72, that's not crazy. So many analysts have been talking about that, those types of dollar figures, and I know if you're like me, you're probably thinking, well, $5.31. That sounds really hyper conservative, but I can respect that. If somebody's being conservative, I can respect that. But that sounds super low, doesn't it? Considering that XRP's all-time high was almost $4 over 7 years ago, and it spent almost 7 years consolidating before it finally broke out of that symmetrical triangle, and we're talking about not even doubling in price, but he's not saying that it would necessarily top there, to be fair. He's talking about a take profit zone. But I'm just saying, can you imagine if it did? Because some analysts actually do think that there's some level of probability that could, not many. But can you imagine that? You wait that long and then that's all we get. I would be disappointed. And I'll be honest about that. Like if that happened, I would honestly be quite disappointed. But I do think we go higher. Here's a post from chart analyst Javon Marks. More XRP here. It says XRP breaks out of an extremely similar coil pattern just like it did leading up to the 2017 run, and multiple measured movements are pointing to a price point of $20 and well beyond. This $20 mark is over 720% away. And so we posted this just last night. And so I just want to share with you the fact that we've been consolidating a little bit of downward price action as the market, even though XRP's been outperforming the other top 10 coins typically recently. The price action we're seeing that's scaring a lot of people, it's not scaring the people who have been here for a while. Just take that for what it's worth. They've seen this before. They understand how market psychology works. This is not a time to be afraid. This is a time to be excited. Here's a post from chart analyst Steph is Crypto. Same story here. He wrote, XRP is about to explode. And you can see if you're looking at the screen, I mean, he's been targeting over $30 for this market cycle, which is truly bull. I don't know if we're going to hit that high. It's not impossible. I don't think it's crazy. If I thought it was crazy, I'd just say that and probably talk about it less than I do. But I'm not counting on that as like my base case here. But even I always do my best to stay fair, like as grounded in reality as possible. I'll acknowledge it's possible. I'm just not counting on this actually happening here, honestly. Here's a post from Watcher Guru the other day. Just in, Ripple president says spot XRP ETF is likely to be next in line after Bitcoin and ETH. Okay, so that's the narrative. It's been going around. I already talked about that in a separate video and even earlier in this one. I just don't think it's going to freaking matter, to be honest with you. But anyway, that was reposted by chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto, and he wrote, XRP to $3 to $7 next level is already showing in the chart. And so that's the part that I wanted to share with you. The next level, he's not even saying that that would necessarily be the peak, the next level for a bird. And I keep seeing this from so many freaking analysts. There's also this post from chart analyst Jelly talking about XRP, and he almost never does. And here it caught his attention, though. He said, entire market taking a S word. Meanwhile, XRP. So he's noting the performance. Everyone's noticing the performance. And again, he's not even somebody that regularly talks about XRP. I don't even know if he holds it. But he noticed, and look at this price action going back to December when it had its most recent local peak. Look at this downward trend line, broke out of that. So what he's highlighting is that it broke out of that resistance, came back down, tested it as support, and it's just sitting here chilling. That's some strength, folks. I will not be surprised to see this continue to rip to the upside. Here's a post from chart analyst Greg Crypto. I wanted to share some of this with you. This is really cool. It's an XRP BTC chart, and I've been insisting that XRP will absolutely decimate Bitcoin this market cycle in terms of performance. Once this is all said and done, look at Bitcoin percentage-wise. What were the gains from the bottom to the top of the cycle? Same for XRP from the bottom to the top of the cycle. It will just shred it. And if you look at XRP price against Bitcoin, here are some historic figures. So going back to it looks like this was early 2015. XRP had a price move against Bitcoin, so it's the XRP BTC pair, up 1,264%. So there's precedent for some really big moves percentage-wise against Bitcoin, right? Here's another one, 2017, 3,597% XRP against Bitcoin. Incredible stuff. And most of the time, for most of its history, you will see that XRP trends down against Bitcoin, but then when it moves, it has these huge bursts. And those happened in typically, obviously, bull runs, which we're in one now. So that's why this is why it's exciting to talk about this right now. But last market cycle, of course, with the SEC attack, not as exciting. XRP against Bitcoin rose 493%, specifically here in 2021. So what might it be reasonable to suspect could happen? Because if you look at any of those percentages for this cycle, what would that look like? And that's what his post is highlighting here. And so he wrote, for this evaluation, let us consider Bitcoin at around $120,000, which serves as our baseline conversion price. Based on this baseline, here are the three exponential scenarios for XRP. Okay, so I'll pause note just to be clear here, in case anyone's confused. We're making an assumption in this hypothetical that Bitcoin is priced at $120,000. And so, yes, you can look at XRP priced against Bitcoin, because if you look at XRP USD, what does that tell? What is that rate that you're seeing? XRP USD. Well, it's telling you what XRP is worth in terms of the dollar. Like how much in terms of dollars do you have to spend to get the XRP? And so here we're doing it against Bitcoin, of course. And so since we're looking at this, the question is, this is the fun question, because look, if you look at XRP against Bitcoin, you get dot and then a bunch of zeros and then some more numbers, and it's hard for us to comprehend, okay, what does that actually mean for us? I mean, if you're looking at a chart, you can see the candles, and then it's a little bit more meaningful. But let's get to the chase here. What are we interested in? What does that mean in terms of dollars, right? That's what we're interested in. And I understand if you have a different fiat currency use than that. Okay, but still, we're interested in what it means in terms of fiat currency. So if XRP is substantially outperforming Bitcoin, so that's when you see these candles move up, these huge percentage gains, what does that mean in terms of dollars? That's what he's getting to here in this post, which is what makes this a lot of fun. And so he's got a few scenarios laid out. And again, these are based on percentages that we've actually seen in the past for XRP performing against Bitcoin. Scenario A, if we experience a price increase of about 1,264%, the XRP BTC ratio could reach around 0.000107. This means XRP could potentially be priced at $12. And so, folks, that's again why he had that baseline of $120,000 for Bitcoin, because that would change depending on what you have as the hypothetical, whether it's 120,000, 250,000, whatever number you choose to plug in there. That would change what that would mean for XRP, because this is an XRP BTC chart. Scenario B, in a more optimistic case with a 3,600% increase, the ratio could go up to around 0.000247, which would mean XRP might hit $29. Scenario C, for a more conservative increase of about 500%, the ratio could sit at around 0.000041, leading to a possible XRP price of $5. Okay, so mind you, that 500%, though, that was last cycle when we were under attack by the SEC. And even then, if Bitcoin's that high, then that 500% gain would still mean $5 price for XRP. So we'll see here. Then he writes, prediction. This scenario suggests a mix where the XRP BTC ratio might land between 0.00007 and 0.00010, translating to XRP prices of around $8.50 to $12. And then after this, a drop might happen, but then we could see it rise again to about 0.00014, which would be $17 to $27 for XRP. And so again, those percentage moves, those are based on historic precedent. It doesn't mean for sure we're going to get those types of percentage gains against Bitcoin, but I will say XRP has been so artificially suppressed for so long, it's got a lot of ground to catch up here. And it's already begun. It's just a question of how high this thing's going to go. I'm optimistic. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.